Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Virgo February 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as February goes, Venus will be in Capricorn from the 3rd until the 28th. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be about a Capricorn love connection. If you're unattached at this time, Virgo, it could be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn characteristics. It could be one that you truly enjoy and somebody that you could have a lot of fun, amusement with, play games with. I mean, like board games or computer games, not manipulation games. Also, too, this could manifest perhaps in a lot of premeditated and planned spending on investments, gambling, even things of a speculative nature. This could also be about valuing consistency and seriousness, really, and responsibility, and things that are regimented with lovers, children, and even perhaps things of amusement and enjoyment. You may value the responsibility in these matters as well. This could be about making money, perhaps something Capricorn related, such as dentistry, information technology, accounting, that you actually truly enjoy. So anyway, next thing up. As far as February goes, Mars will be in Aries from the 1st until the 14th, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Well, at this time, this could be, in some cases, this could be you're talking about, Mars is connected with surgery. You're having the 8th house involved. This is emphasizing how that's about surgery as well. This could be something connected with the head. Might be some surgery on the head at this time. If there's something, if there's other indicators of this, perhaps such as progressions or other transits you might be experiencing. This could also be something where there may be very quick, aggressive action in crisis situations. This could be about also, now in some isolated cases, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I do it anyway. Some cases, this could be an indicator of a volatile death, but generally this is very isolated. But that, of course, is dependent on other transits and progressions, because you're going to have, this transit is going to take place like once every 2 years about, and and very rarely somebody is going to pass due to a volatile death at this time. But remember that Mars is about gunfire. We're talking about Mars in its home in a very aggressive Aries. So it's important to take some extra precautions at this time. I'm not saying go out and wear a bulletproof vest or anything, but at the same time, if you're in a volatile or truculent neighborhood, make sure you're taking extra precautionary measures. I would say more so than usual, as there's a greater propensity for something like that to happen, as I was describing before. So anyway, this could also be about dealing with how there might be easy provocation in intimate or sexual relationship, or somebody that you're in a shared resources situation with, perhaps. So anyway, well, next thing up, Mars will be in Taurus as far as February goes, from the 14th until the 28th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about a lot of deliberate, persisting, methodical, and plotting energy into 9th house matters. It could be activities and dealings with in-laws and grandchildren. It could be in publishing matters, foreign travel, doing some matters pertaining perhaps to a religious congregation or higher education. This could also be about putting a lot of that persistent energy into higher education, into also you might be dealing with perhaps very stubborn, obstinate, persistent battles, so to speak, with 9th house people like in-laws and grandchildren, people at a college, university, or even at a religious congregation, or foreigners even. And those situations with in-laws and grandchildren may be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. Given that this is Taurus energy, though, this could be after perhaps becoming angry after much prolonged provocation from these people. Now, also too, and also this could be about a lot of latent energy and endurance in ninth house matters at this time as well. If you're say another way this may manifest, this could be also about a sexual liaison if you're unattached at this time. Virgo could be with a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Taurus-like characteristics. It could be someone from a foreign country, somebody you know at a college, university, or it could be through traveling abroad. Anything that could be ninth house related. So anyway, next thing up. Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, as I've talked about in previous videos, okay, Jupiter can be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. And in some cases, this could expand rather foolhardy, reckless, over-optimistic, even tactless, perhaps behavior from people that you're close to home with. It could be family members, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. This could be also, in some cases though, on a positive note, this could be very fortuitous, perhaps for the expansion of a home in some cases, and also expanding jocularity, joviality with people you're close to home with, family members, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, and also perhaps expanding maybe outdoor activities with those you're close to home with. Now also too, this could be, looking at, another way of looking at this, that this could be about maybe also expanding your qualities, perhaps of who you are at the core, which is Sagittarius characteristics. This could be expanding jocularity, joviality, optimism, expansiveness, exuberance, and enthusiasm as well. So anyway, and also this could be very auspicious for humor and goodwill at that latter part of your life, that latter part of your life, which, if it is at this point in time, if you're in that latter part of your life at this point in time, this is where that it could really, you could really start, you really feel that energy. So anyway, Saturn, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you may be dealing with certain restrictions and limitations at this time in matters with your fun, amusement, enjoyment. It could be with a lover, it could be with children. And also, too, in some cases, this could also be about taking care of a debilitated or sickly child, or someone you're in a romantic relationship with. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the bones, the knees, or the joints, and it might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. But also this could manifest perhaps in getting structure and discipline in your love life with matters with children, and also maybe a responsibility, more taking responsibility to having fun in your life, or maybe even sports in some cases. That could be but it could have also, you're talking about Saturn, so this is really, very, serious energy in connection with this as well, though. Now, given this could also be about taking responsibility, perhaps to gambling debts if you have any, and also you might be dealing with some kind of government restriction that might be prohibiting your fun and enjoyment at this point. And a lot of this could depend and be predicated on aspects. This is making an adverse aspect to your natal Jupiter or Venus, then it could really accentuate that energy. And also about working laboriously, perhaps could be something that you might actually, may actually enjoy to some degree, or it could be doing, or maybe you're just doing some kind of laborious, consistent work, maybe doing something with a child, or maybe with a lover or somebody you share some kind of creative endeavor with, or some kind of hobby or thing of amusement with. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, next thing up, Uranus will still be in Aries, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could you could be dealing with perhaps rather unpredictable, acrimonious outbursts from someone you're in a shared resources situation with. It could be with somebody you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with. Aries friendships, they could be Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aries-like characteristics. Might figure prominently perhaps in a transformation you may make, or major change, or even crisis situation, or perhaps even emotional, monetary, or even moral support at this time. This could also manifest in some cases in some kind of unusual activity regarding maybe your credit card, perhaps. And it could be, this is, a time to just be extra careful in those matters. But at the same time, this could be an unanticipated tax refund you might get, or maybe something unanticipated that you may owe, or in taxes, or some kind of credit card debt. And again, a lot of this is dependent on the aspects that this makes. 2 points in your natal chart. A positive aspect, sextile or trine to your Jupiter, could be very auspicious, and it could be something where you might be getting maybe something on your credit card that you didn't anticipate, that you maybe more money than you thought you had on it, or maybe unanticipated tax break, or some kind of inheritance that might come very spontaneously and unpredictably. And also, it could be also dealing with unusual tax or insurance matters at this point in time as well. So anyway, next thing up. Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, this could be about the dissipation and dissolving of relationships. It could be a time where you might have more difficulty deciphering the character composition of others than usual. Open adversaries may be unclear and nebulous, and even phony prophets or phony psychics at this time can really be a thorn in your side, figuratively speaking, and be open adversaries. And just watch it, that you're not running into these people and they're trying to misguide you at this time. I have this placement natally. I have Neptune in my 7th house natally. It seems like I'm constantly dealing with this perpetual dissipation and dissolving in my relationships at this time. And and really, I'm not at this time, just in general throughout my life. And but on the positive end, I think what it's auspicious for me, and when you're dealing with this transiting energy, it could be very good for being perhaps a speaker on something connected with the metaphysical, which could include astrology. Now also, this could be a time where you're dealing with a lot of self-sacrifice in your relationships, and really it could be a time where you feel like you're giving and giving, but at the same time you're receiving very little. It's just something that often happens when you're dealing with this energy. So anyway, and also too, this could be where legal opponents might be somewhat nebulous or unclear, and also be very careful as far as details go in legal matters, because when you're talking about Neptune energy, it could be very easy to gloss over significant details and be oblivious to the details that might really be very important. So be very careful at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could actually be the literal death of a romantic partner or a child in some cases. This could be about dealing with upheavals and power struggles with fifth house people. Also, there could be a greater danger for perhaps obsessive compulsive gambling and speculation at this time. You might be attracting partner romantic people that may want to dominate and have a domineering way about them and manner, and you may be this way at the same time as well. On a positive note, though, this could manifest perhaps in a Pluto-like enjoyment at this time. It could be something connected with the occult, the supernatural. I mean, astrology could be a possibility. Maybe even playing the game Operation. I'm being facetious, of course, but the game Operation, for those of you that know about, I mean, is connected with surgery, of course, and of course Pluto is associated with that. But anyway, and I have Pluto in my fifth house as well, and I mean, is my chart natally, and it's interesting that I don't have any children, and I'm almost 50 years old. So I try to tell people not to, as I've stated in my videos, and I'm, at the end of it, tell people not to isolate anything, any proponent in their chart, because when you look at my chart, I mean, of course, I have a Cancer. My sun sign is in Cancer. I have 2 other planets in Cancer, and I think a lot of people have a misconception about Cancer. They think we're all about, everybody's they all got prodigious families and have children, and that's not always the case. You got to look at the whole chart. But anyway, I'm going off on a Gemini moon tangent. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Virgo February 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Libra February 2019 horoscope, part 1. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.